The Karen Show. The Karen Show. The Karen Show. Let's go. Let's go. The Karen Show.
Hi, welcome to my episode on the Ancient Ram Inn. I want to touch very briefly on the history of the house as I was able to research it. Researching for me, as a lot of people will know, does not include watching YouTube videos. My research is done by accessing databases across government agencies, historical agencies, all that sort of thing. I read articles. I do a pretty deep dive into historical events as best as I possibly can afford to. And thank you to my members who do support me in that, because your membership money actually pays for a lot of these subscriptions and places that I have to pay to actually get my information from. So again, thanks, members. The Ancient Ram Inn, Wotton Under Edge. I'll tell you what I found out, and then those of you who have heard the history from the owner of the house, etc., you can compare. But from what I've discovered, the land was owned back in 1350, approximately, by two gentlemen. They, at some point, sold that land on, as people do, and the original house at that time in the 1300s, no one knows anything about it, or even if it was a house, it could have been anything. The original remnants of the building that would have stood there in the 13th century are no longer there. What is there now is the residence that everybody sees. Now, the residence that's there now was tested scientifically by two separate people, two separate, agencies, so to speak. They took from the building samples, and they call it fabric testing. Some of you might have heard about it sometimes, fabric testing, or they take a piece of wood and they'll work out from the rings, etc., how old it is. Anyway, the original part of the building, the first part of the building that was built first, fabric testing places that to trees that were felled in the woodlands there nearby in around about 1495 to 1496. So those trees were cut down, they took those trees, and that's what they built the current building out of. So the original first little part of it. Now, the first little part of it would have been a dwelling, probably just a domestic dwelling. And later, through renovations and add-ons, things were added on throughout the time. But the original house would have been a dwelling. And then, because Wotton Under Edge was primarily in the medieval days a wool town, that's how they made their money. That's how the people there supported that. There was the industry. Okay. Also, just as a side note, responsible for supplying the British Army, that area, Gloucestershire, with the red cloth that was used in the British soldiers' uniforms. So Wotton Under Edge was a thriving little community in the wool industry. And the original abode actually has tenterhooks in it, and tenterhooks are what are used to, when you're doing the wool work, you hang the wool on it, etc. So that's interesting. So that actually backs up the fact that they believe that somebody lived in the dwelling and worked in the building that they built to prep the wool. Now, couple of hundred years later, or maybe 100 years later, in the 1500s, the dwelling was put in the hands of the parish, the local parish, St Mary's, I believe, the parish. A whole heap of people had their name on that, and the house, the dwelling, was primarily used as a hall for meetings, to do with the parish, like you do when you go to church nowadays. Often off to the side of the church is a hall where you have functions, meetings, and so on. So that is what the house was used for a very, very long time. Could bishops and whatnot have lived in the house at that time? Sure. There's no evidence anywhere to say that any bishop did live in the house, but given it was owned by the parish, there's every possibility that a bishop did live in there. But yes, so far as some of the claims to the house, the bishop, the witch, murders that took place, etc. Nothing. There's nothing to back any of those claims up, unfortunately. Now, that means to say I couldn't find it. Do the owners of the house actually have physical evidence to back up the claims? Maybe they do. Maybe somewhere along in my research that's been missed, but I couldn't find it. The next actual link to where it's starting to be called an inn is 1820. 1820, it started to be used as an inn. So now, again, it could have been used as an inn before that because, there's not many records in between the 1500s and the 1800s to indicate. But given the situation, it's every possibility that as the parish evolved or maybe they moved premises, then it could have been used as an inn. So it was used as an inn, 1820 being the first mention of it. And that's how it was until the 60s when, of course, they were going to demolish it, but John Humphreys got a hold of it, which is a good thing, a very lovely old building. Now, there's a few claims also made that the workers lived in the inn while they were building St Mary's Church. St Mary's Church has also been fabric tested. So St Mary's Church was built in the 13th century. The inn was built well after the church was established. When the church was built, Wotton Under Edge was thriving. So whoever built, the people that built St Mary's Church were well and truly paid for their work. There's every possibility, they say, there is a possibility that there was a church that stood there before St Mary's. However, again, through archaeological digs, etc., and research, the experts say that there's no evidence that there was ever anything standing there before St Mary's. The other claim is pagan burial ground, that the ancient Ram Inn is built on a pagan burial ground. Unfortunately, according to the experts that have done research in their field into this, that's not substantiated. They think that claim is incorrect. To the knowledge of all the experts, there's no pagan burial ground. Now, I won't touch on any of the stories. I do know that John said that he found in the fireplace there or whatever, I'll put a picture up, bones, etc., of babies and children and knives. Unfortunately, according as the story goes, all of those bits and bobs he found were stolen or taken, so they're no longer in existence to prove or to have tested. I can't find any evidence of a dark history to the house. Everything about it seems to be, relatively within what you would expect from the time periods that people lived there. Oh, the other thing I couldn't find anything on was the witch. It said that the witch took, in the witch's room is where the witch hid because the town was going to burn her at the stake or whatever she hid. They came in, they found her and they dragged her off and executed her. Given that they may have held some, judicial type things there in the house as a parish house, it's possible that someone was convicted of witchcraft. So all these things could have happened, but there's no actual proof of it happening. Stories told over the years. Watch the episode. Let me know what you think. I'll catch you on another live and, enjoy.
Not allowed in here until you knock on the door 3 times. Is there anyone here?
I hope they can give us a name. That'd be nice. It'd be nice to actually get a name and know
who you're speaking
with. Even if it's just a first name or even if they just say it's Mr. or it's Mrs. or whatever they say, it'd be nice to know. Because that's the thing, when anyone comes in, we say who we are. We introduce ourselves. Some don't, though. I have seen some people go into houses and nobody says who they are and they're really rude. Be interesting to know how many families over all these hundreds of years have lived in this house.
I was just thinking that. Can you imagine how many people have been in and out of here?
Children running, playing.
How much residual energy there is.
How many times someone might have had an argument in this room, or how many times someone had a baby.
Mm-hmm.
how many times someone got married and it was the happiest night of their life, or like so many memories. That's why I feel more like the walls talk.
So I'm
Almost
just trying to
take it in.
I'm just feeling out the energy now to see what is residual layers. And there's a lot of residual. A lot. That's a lot to sift through. I'm trying to see what's intelligent. There's definitely a male energy.
Well, what was that? I mean, you said,
Yeah.
and it said welcome.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't your jacket. That wasn't.
No.
That was a clear word.
Yeah.
So there is something intelligent here.
Yes.
I wonder if they pick up. Surely they would pick up on energy of the people that come to visit too. So,
Absolutely.
So I think we have a
The
calm.
thing is, and I tell this to investigators all the time, if you're only worried about catching an EVP, and that is your main goal, you just want to capture evidence that there's somebody there, they're not performing monkeys. But if you genuinely, your intent is to communicate with them and find out who they are, what was their life like? Why are they still here?
What is it that holds them here? Like, why? Is it the fun memories they had while they were here?
100%. Is it unfinished business? Is there, what is the reason? My whole thing is telling stories. I want to know your story. I want to know more about you. And yes, I'd love to capture that on EVP or whatever. That's great because it gives us validation. There we go.
There we go.
Whoever's here with us, we're just trying to record your voice so we can get to know you. So if you could answer a few questions, that would be immensely helpful. So if you could get as close as you can to this and speak clearly, hopefully we can hear your voice when we play it back, okay? So when we're silent, that is your opportunity to talk. And if you have any questions for us, feel free to ask. And the church bells, we're going to try with the church bells in the background and see, because they're not going to stop for a while. All right, so I'm going to hit record. You said welcome. Thank you. That was very nice of you. We appreciate that. Could you perhaps tell us your name clearly? Is this your home? What do you think about all the stories that are told about this place? We've both heard many different stories about the ancient Ram Inn, and we would love some clarification. I mean, if you could perhaps let us know what is true and who else is here, that would really be super helpful. Could you tell us how many other people are here? Do you, by any chance, have any questions for us? How are you doing today? I'm going to play this back to see if we can hear those bells. We're going to play this back in a few seconds. If there's anything you'd like to add before I stop the recording, Stopping recording. Let's see if I can understand what that was. A bit rough.
What do you think about all the stories that are told about this place? We've both heard many different stories about the ancient Grand Inn, and we would love some clarification. I mean, if you could perhaps let us know what is true and who else is here, that would really be super helpful. Could you tell us how many other people are here? Do you, by any chance, have any questions for us? How are you doing today? I'm going to play this back to see if we can hear those bells. We're going to play this back in a few seconds. If there's anything you'd like to ask before I stop the recording. Stopping recording.
That's just not clear enough.
It's not clear enough.
We're recording. We think somebody just stomped really loudly right next to us. If that was you, could you own up to it, please? First of all, let me just explain something to you real quick. See, we don't get scared off because that's not why we're here. We're not here for oohs and ahs and bumps and creaks in the night. We're here to speak to you. This is not a fright night. This is a conversation. So stomping really loudly to scare us off, not going to help. Stomping to get our attention because you'd like to talk, different story. So if that was indeed to get our attention, we don't mind if you do it again. That way we can be sure, okay? I'm going to stop the recording.
We think somebody just stopped really loudly right next to us. If that was you, could you own up to it, please? First of all, let me just explain something. Really loudly
Say it one more time.
right next to us. If that was you, could you own up to it, please?
That was me.
First of all, let's just
Yeah.
stopped really loudly right next to us. If that was you, could you own up to it, please?
I thought it was
First
me.
of all, let me just explain something to you real quick. See, we're scared off because that's not why we're here. Get scared off because that's not why we're here. We're not here for...
Thank you.
Yeah, but is that downstairs? From the other experiment we were doing, we could hear a male voice and a female voice. Would either of you like to come and have a chat with us, please?
My friend MJ was just discussing before she felt someone come into the room the history of this building and even just this room that we're sitting in and the many things that took place in these rooms because it was an inn and people did come from far away and stay here. Is that why perhaps you approached MJ because she was talking about something you might be interested in?
When you were alive, and you were here, what was this place used for? Does this place hold happy memories for you? Are you related to the current owner? What year were you here? When you first arrived, what year was it?
Do you miss the man that lived here? Do you miss John Humphreys?
Why is this called the witch's room? Why are you called a witch? Car driving by?
People say that if they call you a witch, you get quite upset. I would too. So I won't call you a witch. I'll call you a lady. Why would you be here? Why do they call you the witch?
What would you prefer to be called? We're going to stop these recordings in a second. If you have any questions for us, or if you have any messages or anything you would like to say, please feel free to do so now. We'd like to listen. Stopping recording 1, stopping recording 2, recording 3, and recording 4. It's just not, there's nothing clear.
No,
Even if it is somebody trying,
it's not coming
it's
through.
just not clear enough. So unfortunately, it goes.
Well, here is the haunted bar. This, according to what I'm told, is full of children's bodies.
Why has everyone gone so quiet? Did you make a loud noise anywhere in the house to let us know where you are? Did you bang on something or stomp your feet? establish who is still here and why you're still here. Perhaps you could answer a few questions for us. Was there ever a bishop who lived here? If so, what was his name? You upstairs. The lady who is here, who they refer to as the witch, we'd like to know who you are and how you would prefer to be addressed. Stomach? I heard that this place is haunted. Have you ever seen a ghost?
I'm really surprised at those answers.
Everybody seems scared of this place, and I don't understand why. Seems like a very nice old home to me. Very historic. When they built the barn,
It's got vocal tone to it.
It's just hard to.
Yeah, but it sounds like they're having a conversation that we're not supposed to hear.
is there anything or anyone buried beneath us right now? I'm pagan. What does that mean to you?
What was that?
I thought I heard witch.
I'm pagan. What does that mean to you?
Maybe not.
Talk to us, please. I'm going to stop this recording in a second. Do you have anything you'd like to say? Stopping recording?
Honestly, it feels so flat to me.
Mm-hmm. I've seen photos taken when it was an inn and people laughing with their beer glasses. It did look like a fun place. Was it?
Is there anything here that people should be scared of? I'm just trying to understand why Mr. Humphrey slept here.
Did you scare Mr. Humphreys? Is that why he slept down here on the couch?
Oh, sorry.
No, sorry. Do you like scaring people? Is it fun to scare people?
What is your favourite room in this building? There's birds outside.
Must be birds outside. It's like a chirping, isn't it? It's demons. Do you tell people that? Do you like to use that word to scare people? Do you like to tell people there's a demon? You're awfully quiet. Can you touch the red light on the table? Could you do that? If you touch the red light on the table and make it light up, we'll go home.
There's no point in saying that
Why?
because then you just start getting activity and then you're going to leave.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't take it back. I don't mean it.
It's a false promise, that.
It's a false promise.
We're not making false promises.
Yeah, better not. I'm sorry you can't scare us. It might be fun for you to scare people. I'm so sorry that you can't scare us.
Do you find us boring? Do you think we're boring because we want to know more about the afterlife and you can't scare us? Could you move anything in this room or knock on anything or stomp on anything? Anything at all. Just give us any sign that you are here. I feel like they're like, we can't get a word in edgeways with these two anyway, so we might as well not talk. Do you want us to just be quiet and then you can say whatever you want?
Yes, we'll be quiet.
Before we go this evening, please will you at least do us one favor? Just one. Could you repeat the words "life goes on"? And you just say it into one of these recorders. Just say "life goes on." I'm going to stop the recorder. You can hear the interference from the computer there.
Is there anything here that people should be scared of? I'm just trying to understand why Mr. Humphrey's gets scared.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's the first time that's gone off the whole night.
What is your favorite room in this building?
I can't hear it on this interference.
It's hard, yeah.
Just one. Could you repeat the words "life goes on"? Can you just say it into one of these recorders? Just say "life goes on." Stop the recorder.
There's too much
it's too much
interference.
interference.
Bloody computer.
I'm wondering if what set the REM pod off was not actually the Wi-Fi signal for the cameras. That was weird.
What happened? What did I miss?
That is the first weird thing I've seen tonight.
What did you see?
It was like a little black ball of mist.
Oh.
And it went from the corner of that table, it just went all the way down to that door.
Oh, I didn't have the camera. But sometimes cameras don't pick those things up.
It was like a pitch black little ball of mist. Hang on. What did I just see? The black mist. Could you please tell me what that was?
What did I just see? The black mist.
The black
Tell me
mist.
what that was?
What did I just see? The black mist.
The black mist. Could you please tell me what that was?
Black.
Black mist. Huh.
I wonder if it's John. This was where John slept.
John, if it's you, can you light that REM pod up? Could you let us know that it's you?
Maybe not. Darn it. I've been panning around here, but I haven't been panning. Oh, there's no guarantees.
Like, it was literally the size of a golf ball. And it was about maybe 6-7 inches off the ground. And it just moved from there down.
towards the door.
Bless me.
Bless
Oh,
you.
Dust.
So
Thank
towards
you.
the door?
Yeah. Yeah, it was literally size of a golf ball, 6 inches off the ground. From the corner of that table, it kind of hovered, and it was quite slow as well. So I was trying to like look at it and think, is that a bug? What the hell is that? And then it just faded.
Interesting.
Like before it got to that little white bit of wall that sticks out,
Yep.
like as it got to the corner of that, it just faded. It just disappeared.
And we've been in the rooms with the lights on. So it's not like we're in the dark and you've seen it in the dark.
No.
You've seen it with your own eyes in a lit room.
Yeah, I genuinely thought it was a bug.
But for it to dissipate before it gets to the doors.
But then I noticed like it's a proper little solid like black ball of mistiness. And then it just dissipated. That is the first weird thing I've seen in this building all night.
Seen, except for
Like
the jumping.
seen.
Except for the
Yeah.
jumping. That was strange.
But that was audible and physical vibration, and that was like somebody stomping next to
Oh,
us.
definitely.
But other than that,
It's pretty.
it's just weird because it's the first time that REM pod's gone off all night is when I saw it.
Oh, yes, because it made the noise and then you saw that.
Yeah.